The responsive classroom approach is founded on the belief that children do their best learning in a safe, challenging, and joyful learning environment that's designed to meet their developmental needs. The responsive classroom is not a separate curriculum, but rather an approach to teaching that offers educators practices that they use throughout the day to create positive classroom and school communities where children engage fully in their learning. In a responsive classroom, children learn how to respect each other and to work together as they learn. Using best practices refined over decades, the responsive classroom approach has transformed schools around the nation, from the classroom to the hallways to the playground.
I think responsive classroom has the capacity to really change a school culture, and that it can create and sustain a caring school-wide community.
What we found with responsive classroom is that the students know that the people in that building care about them and that they will help them address issues as they arise. They know that teachers will listen if they have a problem, so they are more available to learn.
How are you, Pierre? Good morning, Harry. How are you doing this year?
Well, I know the responsive classroom works because I know that anybody performs to the fullest of their potential when they're in a supportive, engaging environment where they matter. It's a core component of everything that our school is about. It enables us to foster classroom communities that support our students. It enables our students to be independent and responsible, but also caring for each other. It just has created a real sense of community across the school.
Responsive classroom pays particular attention to the structure of the entire school day. The first part of the day is especially important because it sets the tone for the entire day. Responsive classroom teachers begin the day with a morning meeting. This simple but powerful routine builds community, teaches key social and academic skills, and sets the tone for learning. It's a time for teachers and students to calibrate their minds and their emotions to start the day fresh. In the morning meeting circle, teachers integrate social skills with academic instruction. Along with reading, writing, and math, children learn how to take turns, listen to a classmate's ideas, assert their own, and disagree respectfully.
It's a time for them to greet each other, get to know each other, share, and get to know the routine and what's going to happen that day. It changed the way that my kids interacted. It changed the way that my kids viewed themselves. And it changed the way that my kids treated each other.
The way I see it is my morning meeting time sets my students on such a positive pace that it takes out so many other issues throughout the day.
Morning meeting is great because it's always fun and there's something new. I like morning meeting because it helps me when I'm in a bad mood and I come to school and we just greet everybody and they make me feel good.
We get to talk about our family and we can say what we do at our house.
Morning meeting is teaching, and it's teaching both academic and social skills. The most important thing about morning meeting is it gives kids this sense of, it mattered that I walked through the door today. I feel welcome here, I belong to this community. Morning meeting can teach very specific social skills, like how to welcome others, how to be inclusive, how to be kind, and that you can practice social skills and teach very specific language.
It gives them that opportunity to not only feel safe and secure, but to also build the relationships and build community by allowing students to feel engaged, feel like they have a purpose.
Morning meeting is central to the responsive classroom way, but it is just the beginning. The key practices of the responsive classroom approach include a daily morning meeting, a proactive approach to discipline, positive teacher language, and giving students choices in their learning. A proactive approach to discipline all starts on the first day of school. As any administrator will tell you, having a calm, safe school environment where students show self-control and respect for others is essential for learning. Responsive Classroom offers a positive and practical approach to discipline that, when implemented system-wide, will significantly reduce the time spent on punitive measures and increase the time spent on learning.
I see empty hands, eyes on me. Okay, first grade, we are going to put away all of our tools. Carefully and safely put your bags in the basket and walk to sit in our easel spaces. You may begin.
During the first 6 weeks of school, teachers not only establish clear expectations from day one, but they also involve students in creating rules that connect to their learning goals.
We started the year where the kids made their hopes and goals, and then from the goals they thought about how can we help each other be successful. When we do Read to Someone, there are a lot of steps that we've been practicing. Let's take a minute, look at our class rules that we created together. Thinking about Read to Someone, what rules are we following? Using Responsive Classroom's rule creation process helped us create the rules together so then the rules are in the students' language, they wrote them, and they feel ownership over those rules. What else? Tamim?
Cooperate and be kind to others by saying yes and not like I don't want to be your partner.
In addition, they begin the practice of firmly but respectfully intervening when behavior first begins to go off track, so that the focus always stays on learning.
We were struggling with student behaviors and being much more reactive and punitive, and it just didn't feel right, and we weren't getting the results. So we felt like we were at a crossroads where we had to do something. We knew that Responsive Classroom was working when we looked at our data that showed us how many times teachers were asking for children to be removed for behavioral supports. And we found that over time that our school-wide number of removals per day was going from 12 to 15 per day down to 2 or 3.
Stop. Remind me, how can we use the swing safely?
By swinging back and forth.
Okay, go ahead and show me. There you go. Okay, now you're swinging safely.
With the Responsive Classroom, having logical consequences, having them focus on fixing it, kept them engaged in the relationship with both the teacher and the students.
Do we go back and do more of the same that we've been doing for the last 50 years, which is the punishment-based? Because if we've had that already for this many years and it's not working, more of the same is only going to give you the same results.
Positive teacher language, one of the most powerful tools for instruction, is another central component of the Responsive Classroom approach.
It's all about our language. When we teachers use language that names our positive vision for our work together, then children buy into it and share that positive vision.
And today we're going to focus on thinking about how our classroom rules will help guide us when we're looking for a partner.
We use language that lets children know what they're doing well in a way that's respectful and non-manipulative.
When you were reading and listening, what did you notice about what our whole class was doing together? Kyra?
When it was yellow and brown, they were doing it like expression.
You noticed that?
Common language is very important to sort of carry over from a home classroom to a specialist room because they're expected to do the same thing everywhere they go, and so it's just easy for them to keep building on those skills.
As an art teacher, Responsive Classroom helps because it keeps the language that I speak consistent with the other classroom teachers. It makes my communication with the kids easier because it's the same as your classroom teacher. We have 2 minutes left. In 2 minutes, we're going to clean up together. For the next 2 minutes, our voices will be on whisper.
In a responsive classroom, teachers strive to fully engage students in their learning each and every day. The goal is for learning to be active and interactive. One of the key strategies teachers use to engage students is to give them structured choices in their learning.
By giving them choice over either the product that they create or the topic that they pursue, students are more likely to be engaged in their own education.
Now you have 3 choices for the tools that you can use to practice counting by 2s. Let's look up at the board and I'll show them to you. You may choose the insects. You may choose the animals. You may choose the buttons.
Say you're looking at a classroom that's studying the natural world around their school. Some kids might be researching information on the internet, some kids might be drawing sketches in notebooks, some kids might be making clay models of animals that they've seen around the school. That you would see kids engaged in a variety of different academic activities all at the same time.
I think it's important for kids to learn how to make their own choices, and they don't get to make a lot of their own choices. People tell them when to eat, when to do this, when to do this. So it gives them a choice to develop their own skills, things that they enjoy doing, and it makes it fun for them. So instead of me telling them what to do, they feel better about what they're doing. So it gives them a little responsibility, like they're responsible for making their own choice.
A daily morning meeting, a proactive approach to discipline, positive teacher language, and giving students choices in their learning. These are the essentials of a responsive classroom.
I'm involved in the PTA at the middle and at the high school, and responsive classroom practices, I think, is reflected so much in the children coming from elementary school that the middle and the high school notice it. They notice what school those kids have come from because they're empathetic toward their classmates, and it just shows a real difference when they get to the middle and the high school level.
Responsive classroom is the key to our success, both academically and socially. It's that piece that brings us all together, and that makes a huge difference in who our children are and who the adults are at our school.
It's a philosophy that you can just feel in this building. I would urge any principal who is thinking of a positive change in their school to truly consider the responsive classroom.
When I meet on a superintendent's board and grants are being written, I'm right at the front of the line saying, and we need to build in funding for responsive classroom. This is a program that teachers feel comfortable with from the beginning. And I think that's critical, and I think that's the beauty of the program. I've been doing curriculum instruction for a very long time. It was the first time with a program of that nature that I saw that happen. And I also hear it with school superintendents. They see the benefit, and they also see that it's money well spent.